What's up guys, Pyro here with another quick tips video, and today I want to go over max battles. So the max battles have been around for a while, but I think there are some features that even players who have done them may not know. I just want to go over and give you a quick primer and help you get prepared for the legendary Dynamax birds, as well as Gigantamax Kingler that's coming up, and any other max battles that you choose to do on your own. So let's start with your max points collection. So if you go down under your radar in the bottom right corner, you will find a tab for power spots. You tap on that, and this is where you'll see how many max particles you have currently, as well as how far you've walked and how close you are to that next 300 max particle bonus for walking 2 kilometers. And of course, if you've already walked that amount, this is where you would come to claim it. You'll see the little max particle icon in the bottom right next to where the Pokemon radar is in the corner. So hopefully you've seen that and you've tapped on this and collected this already in the past. So there are 2 limits to your max particles. You can collect up to 800 max particles per day, and you can bank or store up to 1,000 max particles. Now those are both soft limits, which means you can collect beyond that. It's just once you've gone past that number, you can't collect anymore. So for example, the walking bonus is 300 max particles. If you wanted to maximize the amount you could collect in a day, you would try to get as close to the 800 limit. So, get yourself to where you've collected 780, 790 max particles in that day. And then collect your final 300 walking bonus. Now, technically, I don't think it's possible to get to 790 because you're collecting either 100 max particles from a power spot or 120 if it's the first time you visited that spot. So, I'd have to run the math, but whatever it is, you want to get as close to that 800 before collecting either your walking bonus, or if you haven't walked far enough, collecting that last power spot for the day. And the same goes with your 1000 MP bank. You can try to get as close to the 1,000 as possible before you claim your final collection for the day. So, big question is, how do you know how many max particles you've collected for that day? Well, that's actually very easy. If you tap on where it says 340 out of 1,000, you tap on your current balance, and it shows you can collect. It shows me I can collect 600 more MP today because I've already visited 2 stops this morning. And if we go ahead in here and tap on this power spot, I have done this battle already yesterday, but I can collect my MP again today. So I've got another 100. It doesn't show me my balance on this screen because I've already completed this raid. But if we come back in here now, I've got 440, and it shows me I can collect 500 more MP today. Come on back here to the score bunny. You'll see the 440 at the bottom. It just went up to 560. So that tells me, since it went up to 560, I don't actually have to tap the screen. I've already gotten, and there now it's showed up. I've already gotten that MP, and I see it's credited me 120. So even though this power spot has been at the Frying Pan Country store before, I'm sure I've visited it. I'm sure I've tapped it. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but pretty sure I've tapped this one before. That would mean that you're going to get that 20 bonus the first time you visited for that raid, not necessarily for that stop, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to look that up and confirm. Alright, so next let's talk about the max battles. One thing to know is if you attempt a battle and you fail, you will get your max points back. You haven't lost anything until you've actually completed and beaten the raid. So there's no risk in trying a raid, and if you can't beat it, Cryogonal is one that is extremely hard to solo. So if you give it a try and you can't beat it, you haven't lost anything. Really the same thing with any of the larger legendary Dynamax or the Gigantamax raids. We've had groups of 10 or 15 people for Gigantamax raids, and they have failed. So you can always, retry, or you can just go on to the next one and or wait for a larger group to come along, and you haven't lost your MP. So, alright, so let's go ahead and hop into one of these Dynamax raids. I'm just going to hop into this Scorbunny real quick, because there's a couple things I want to show you here. So your raids do vary in cost: 250 MP for your tier 1s, 450 for tier 2s, and 800 for the tier 5 legendary Dynamax raids or Gigantamax raids. So if you're going to do the Gigantamax raids, you really want to make sure that you plan ahead, collect your 1,000 or more, have more than 1,000 MP stored from the previous day. Come in, do your first Dynamax or Gigantamax raid. Then you'll need to visit up to potentially, well, if you've got over 1,000, you'll have 200 left in your bank, and you'll have to visit 6 more power spots before you can do a second Gigantamax or legendary Dynamax raid if you are a free-to-play player. So always keep that in mind. On the Gigantamax raid days, they've been giving us an increase in the collection for the day, but not an increase in the amount you can store. However, the really nice thing is they are doing 800 max points from a single power spot on those Gigantamax raid days instead of 100. So you only have to visit one spot, and you'll have your 800 for the day. I'll come back to that in a little bit, actually. But for now, I want to hop in here, because one of the things that a lot of people may not know is once you're in the Dynamax lobby, if you press and hold on your avatar, it will show you your name, of course, and the names of everybody else who is in that lobby with you. So remember, these are max lobbies of 4 people, and let's say you're doing one of the legendary bird raids, and you have 3 people with you. You want to make sure that everybody's in the same lobby. So be sure that you check on those names, because sometimes you'll start a lobby and somebody else in the area will hop in with you. We don't have a private lobby system yet, or any way to really control who is in your group of 4. Same thing on Gigantamax raid days. So you have up to 4, but you have multiple groups. So what is it, like up to 10 lobbies, up to 40 people? So if you get in a group of 4 random people, you can see who's in your lobby and kind of buddy up, call out names, find your group, and then you can coordinate on your actual strategy as you go through the raids. There are lots of videos out there on how to raid, how to do these battles, but generally you do your most damage in the max phase. So I'm not going to be able to show you with Scorbunny because he's going to be done so quickly, but you would want to attack with somebody who is maybe a better defender, and then switch into your main attacker when you enter that max battle phase. Alright, so let's get into this battle here and see what I can show you. There's 2 things that I really want to talk about. I'm not going to attack here because I want to wait for him to attack me. Alright, so now we've got those. Once you see those exclamation points above you, you want to swipe right or left, and you see over in the text it says that I've dodged that attack. Here's the other thing I want to show you. Those are power-ups for your max meter. So that was perfect. I dodged and I collected. You need to swipe over to those icons when they pop up on the screen in order to collect them and charge your max meter. So boom, I've got that. It's collected. Your max meter charges, as you see, it's not going up right now. Your max meter will charge as you use your fast attack. Now, I don't want to use my MP on this raid, so I'm going to get out of here because I am saving up my max points for tomorrow night's Zapdos raids, and I want to make sure that I get all my collection done today. So you can see I actually got Stardust for attempting the battle, but it did not use any of my MP. I'm still at 560, and I can collect 380 more today. Alright, so there's two more things I want to talk about real quick, and that is, well, one is your moves for Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon. So let's go ahead and bring these up. I'm going to show you something else related to this. Dynamax. So Dynamax, Gigantamax. That's your search for all of your Dmax and Gmax Pokemon. And the one thing I wanted to mention is, let's talk about movesets. So Dynamax Pokemon, your max move, you see I have max darkness, is always going to be the same as your fast move, which for me is bite. So if I go to, let's see, here's a Blastoise that has max geyser, because he has water gun. Gigantamax Pokemon are different. Gigantamax Pokemon always have a fixed Gmax, their signature Gmax move. They only have one Gigantamax move, and in Blastoise's case, it is a water type move. It doesn't matter what your fast move is technically, it will always be the it'll be that type. Let me see if I've got a better example. So here's a Lapras with a water fast move. The Gigantamax move is max resonance. It is a ice type move. It does not matter what my fast move type is. Over here I have one with ice, and you can see it has the same Gmax resonance move. So this is really interesting because, so in the case of like Zapdos that's coming up, Zapdos is going to be weak to ice. It's not going to be weak to water. But Lapras, you want to have the water fast move because it charges the max meter faster. It has to do with how long the attack, I guess the attack animation or the attack cooldown, or I'm not sure exactly what the term is, but how quick the attack is. Water gun is a faster attack than frost breath, so you want to make sure you have the water move because your key here is to charge the max meter as quickly as possible, and it doesn't affect your max move. And actually, against Zapdos, you don't want to have Lapras in the normal attack phase, the charge up phase anyway, because it's weak to electric. You're only going to bring in Lapras during the max phase. So the fast move really doesn't matter at all. If you're doing this right, you would come in with something like an Excadrill. You would wait to enter the max phase. You would switch to Lapras, hit it 3 times with your Gmax attack, and then switch back to either, something that's going to resist the electric moves. So Excadrill or a grass type, for example. Or Toxtricity as well. Wasn't really planning on getting into strategy for Zapdos, but there you go. There's the quick version. Alright, one last thing is, if you haven't done this yet, I highly recommend that you save your search, because who wants to type it? First of all, you have to type out the whole word Dynamax and Gigantamax. I've obviously have mine saved in my history because I've typed it enough times, but there's a really easy way you can to simplify this. So I'm going to close out of my Pokemon storage, come back in. When you hit search, tap on the see more, and this is where you'll see your recent searches. So let me get this out of the way. I'm going to press and hold on this first one, Dynamax and Gigantamax. Now, you see that little flash? Didn't really give you any information, but what that has done is saved it as a favorite. So here at the last one, it says Dynamax, Gigantamax. That's the one I just added. If I press and hold on that, I can rename, and I'm going to rename this Gmax / Dmax. Or I could have just named it Max, or whatever you want. And now this is saved. That's recent. I'm going to do, well, let me close out of this. Hit search. That's not what I want. Alright, so this is the screen that you'll come into by default. Favorites are at the top, and Gmax and Dmax is right there. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of typing. Alright guys, I think that's it. Hopefully that helps you out with your max particle collection and how to set up your teams and move. Oh, you know what? There is actually one other thing. To prepare for any of the upcoming, like the legendary Dynamax raids or the Gigantamax raids, you should be creating and saving parties. So to do that, you would come into your battle screen, go under party, and then all the way at the bottom, you're going to have power spots. So I have my team set up for Articuno, and you just click on here. If you want to give it a name, we can name this one Zapdos. And then the nice thing, of course, is this is already filtered. You're only going to see your Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon in here. Believe it or not, your Gigantamax Gengar is also a really good attacker for Zapdos. So, but I'm going to go with, let's see, yeah, Gengar, Lapras, and I haven't powered up on Articuno yet, so we're going to, oh, right, and I want to bring in my Excadrill. So, now I've got our party saved. And same thing as with raids, if you go on into your battle, you can swipe and select your party. Yep. So I think that's it. Excuse my finger there. Alright, so hopefully that has you ready to take on the legendary birds and future Gigantamax raids. And if you're local, I hope to see you at a meetup soon. Catch you guys later.